take a look through world history. At the heart of every conflict, every movement, is some sort of belief in a higher power. These are usually just titled as religions. Now, after skimming through all those years, all those empires, do you see a common trend? When a society broke away from its belief system, it fell apart, dust, in the winds of history. Why is religion so important? It's quite simple, actually. Humans have to have something to look forward to, and something to keep them grounded. When you no longer have that moral compass, you lose your way, which is why they call it a compass. You know, because it's supposed to guide you. Anyway, society after society was founded on some kind of belief, whether that be in the power of a man or a god, or even a lot of gods. But when they decided they were better than that, they fought amongst themselves and their society fell apart. Sound familiar? Take a look at modern history. We tell ourselves what's right and what's wrong. We are the ultimate answer to everything, and yet... Every topic I will get into will go back to this concept. With no direction, people go every which way, trying to make themselves happy, and finding that that just doesn't work. No, Loki, that's not exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, we want that groundwork, but we also want to be able to push things here and there. However, if you rip that religion out, you're really not much better than these guys. Modern society decided it was going to define our religion, and then royally goofed up. It can't make up its mind what it wants to do, and so we have strife. What's modest today wasn't considered modest 20 years ago. Cursing has become more and more common. Marriage is merely a contract. As the things religion told us to do and not to do get torn away, society gets more and more agitated. It no longer has that guiding light. But, I want to be independent. I want to make my own decisions. Okay, cool. So why don't you touch a hot stove, or jump out of a plane at 30,000 feet without a parachute, or walk in traffic? Obviously, because someone told you that this was dangerous. You don't have to be the deciding factor in everything. In fact, you probably shouldn't. It's called learning from others' mistakes. One of the main reasons people started to pull away from religion was the pure and simple fact that they didn't want to be wrong. It's understandable, but are you just going to throw all that away? To think this way means you believe you are a god. And trust me, watch a movie where a guy thinks he's a god. It doesn't end well. There's a very simple and easy method to consider in whether or not to believe in God. A simple gamble, if you will. On the top here, we have how we act, and on the side, we show if God exists or not. If we act like there's a God, and there is one, we will go to a proverbial heaven. Yay! You just won the grand prize! But if there isn't a God, nothing happens. Was it really a waste of time living like there was one? You decide. Now, if we act like there isn't a God, and there really isn't one, again, nothing happens. We did what we wanted and got away with it. A prize, maybe. But not the best prize, since that heaven thing is still on the table. Finally, we have living like there isn't a God, but there is one. Yeah, we're probably going to some version of hell. So, you enjoyed your life, doing whatever you wanted, but you wind up being miserable for the rest of the time, which is a lot longer than 80 years. Might put things in perspective. Now, you might think that religion is miserable and won't let you do anything you want. I like to think myself as pretty religious, and I'm plenty happy. Watch movies, play video games, read, what have you. Now, doing things like strip clubs and drugs might sound cool, but is it really? They're addictions. If you find yourself miserable without these physical items, you probably have a problem. They only bring temporary happiness. If you can't look at an event without either regretting it or being able to smile about it, you probably don't need that. Sure, some of those drunk stories are funny, but only the parts you remember. The people around you might not agree. As I stated before, I'm a religious guy. My religion tells me right from wrong, and it doesn't take a smart guy to realize that anything I do in the wrong column doesn't really give me that long-term satisfaction. Heck, I usually have a pretty guilty conscience. But you've been brainwashed by your parents. What? Are you sure modern society isn't brainwashing you into thinking I'm brainwashed? Seriously though, did you come up with that yourself with your independence? Or do you just go along with what everyone else says, which would mean you aren't as independent as you thought? Yeah, I probably want to think on that a minute. The biggest problem with this is the burden of proof. How can one prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that people need a religion? This is one of the main reasons people pulled away from it. I'm afraid I can't give that all-encompassing answer. There aren't stats to prove it, but maybe all you need to do is look at society in general. It can easily be stated that there are less religious people today, and those who still practice aren't as fervent in their beliefs as they used to be. Now take a look on society's outlook at life. The suicide rate went up between 2000 and 2013, from 10.4 to 12.6 out of every 100,000 people. That's over 29,000 people in 2000 to nearly 40,000 people in just 12 years, and that's that many suicides a year. Then you throw in divorce rates, adultery, financial issues, and a high crime and unemployment rate, and you see that lots of people are miserable. Now you might ask how religion has anything to do with these. Well, a well-founded religion teaches love and compassion, striving to better yourself and the people around you, and these pieces can be reflected in all these various categories. Of course, there's no hard data to definitively prove it, but it's not hard to see. All in all, people need religion. It gives them purpose and direction. In the words of Stuart Chase, for those who believe, no proof is necessary. For those who don't believe, no proof is possible.